Good night. Good, good night. Yeah, man. Welcome to your nightly program. Yes. Welcome to your nightly program. Yeah, the TV. Welcome to the night. You know. Welcome, people. Sad news. Sad news. Sad news. Sad news. Sad news. Sad news. Where the people them there in the chat? Sad news. Sad news, sad news, sad news. Welcome to Yardi TV. Welcome. Tonight, I come to deal with the wicked. Yeah, man. I come for start Prime Minister. Wicked tonight, but sad news. News. Where the people them there in the chat? Where the people them there? Chat. Where the people them there? Where the people them there? Where the nice Jamaican people them there? There, we're not there. Coming at the live, man. Coming at the live. Sad news. Sad news. Sad news in East Kingston. Sad news. Sad news in East Kingston, Dunkirk. Yeah, man, Dunkirk is not happy at the moment. Dunkirk is not happy. The people of Dunkirk is not happy. Especially in the Brownstone. Yes, people, yes, people, yes, people. Fire! 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 People, fire! People who know down a Hardley Street, who know Shoe Lane, who know street, who know that section, the little telephone street, that section there in a Dunkirk, them call this a Ilan Gully. Who know Ilan Gully? Shoe Lane, who know Shoe Lane? Who know the intersection of Hardley Street? Who know this? So people in a East Kingston, people in a foreign, especially in a Dunkirk, Kirk, places where people nothing at Dunkirk, New York, Brooklyn, Bronx, Miami, whole heap of people living in Miami, whole heap of Dunkirk people living in Brooklyn, whole heap of people from out of Dunkirk live Connecticut too. But people, sad news. Whole heap of people. Now have nowhere tonight. Just, just a while ago, just a while ago, just a while ago, me hear say, one big fire in Dunkirk, one big fire in a Dunkirk, Shoe Lane to be, Shoe Lane, Graham Street, about 3 fire brigade for come, yes, 3 fire brigade for come for out it. The whole of Shoe Lane, but whole of Shoe Lane, Lord Jesus Christ. The people them bed, the people them mattress gone, the people them for them and raise them little chicken gone. The people them who own the little shop them done gone. And a rumor may have spread, and a rumor may have spread. Big fire. Moment ago, moment ago. The way all the fire blaze, me couldn't go jump out of my vehicle and go inside the way all the fire blaze. Blazing, blazing. What a fire big. What a big. People, if you're not there no enough family in a Dunkirk, Lane, Graham Street, Little Telephone Street, all of them there, call and find out one to the family, please. Please call and find out one to the family. And find out one to the family. Big fire, big, big fire, big fire, big fire in a Dunkirk. Fire, big fire. Show lane, show lane abandon. What a show lane. Fire brigade come quick, yes. Fire brigade come quick, yes. The people them can't say the fire brigade no come quick. Them can't give the fireman them no bad name. The fireman them on the scene. Yes, the fireman them please under control. So I wonder if the people lose all of them furniture there. Wonder. I hope say God. I hope say God help them because because it no tall right now for people lose them in a fireburn. It not pretty. But people, anywhere in the day in the world, whether they are Canada, whether they are England, anywhere in the world, check upon the family, especially if they live in the Dunkirk region. Lane, Show Lane to be exact, Show Lane to be exact, Show Lane, yes, Show Lane right at the intersection, a little telephone street, the park, call, Ilan Gully. Me not have no picture for show the way of the fire burn, nobody can go near it. But people, and that me really come for. That was a breaking news. That was a breaking news. But people, the real thing we're for tonight, to talk about. The real thing me come here for talk tonight. Who did I watch the World Cup final? Who did I watch the World Cup final? Who did I watch the World Cup? Anybody in the life now did I watch the World Cup final? Tell me in the chat if una did I watch the final. Cause people, I can't understand how people in a Jamaica I suffer like that. When last when I see John Crow, I flying at the air. People in a Jamaica I suffer like John Crow. Who no know say John Crow suffer nowadays? Who no know say John Crow suffer? Anybody no know say John Crow I suffer nowadays? Who no know no John Crow suffer nowadays because dog hardly are dead again. Dog hardly are dead again. In a Jamaica, dog hardly are dead again. In a Jamaica, dog hardly are dead people. All John Cross suffer. John Cross suffer in a Jamaica. Yesterday, yesterday, at the World Cup final. Andrew won the World Cup. A grinning teeth. People. Andrew Holness, our Prime Minister. They are the World Cup. By the way, by the way, where Andrew get time that's the World Cup. I tired him tired of the job. Tired him tired of the job. Our Andrew needs some help. Who say Andrew needs some time for himself? Tell me in the chat. Who feels say Andrew work hard and need some time for himself? Tell me in the chat if Prime Minister Andrew Brogard Holness needs some time for himself so he can attend the World Cup final. Who feels that Andrew Holness need some me time? Whoever the chat say me time. When people talk about me time, them want some time for themselves. Who believe it say Andrew Holness are work enough so him forget some me time? Who feels so? Who feels say Andrew Holness are work enough so him forget some time to enjoy himself? Who feels so? Who feels so? Do anybody see me a Matley? Anybody see me a Matley at the World Cup? Hard working me a Matley from Barbados. Anybody see her at the World Cup? Anybody see no other Prime Minister from the Caribbean at the World Cup? So Andrew Holness is so special that's in the World Cup. How comes? How comes Andrew Holness is so special that in need some me time? Who feels that Andrew Holness really need some me time for himself? But people say, him and Christopher Tufton, they are the World Cup. Him and Christopher Tufton, they are the World Cup. Lord Jesus Christ. The two worst member of the GLP gone watch World Cup. Christopher Tufton while people in a hospital are dead out. The nurse and doctor them a complain say them have no pharma medicine in the hospital. No medicine at all in the hospital. Forgive the patient them. This week, you know, me a talk about, you know. Me not talk about long time like from last week or from last month or from last year. Me a talk about since week. The medical fraternity a complain said there is no farm and medicine in the hospital for get to patient. Not even a aspirin, not even a painkiller for get to patient. And Christopher Tufton and Andrew Holness, they are the World Cup. What a shame! What a shame! What a shame! People of Jamaica, people of Jamaica, did you remember in a 2012? Yes, 2012, when Andrew Holness When Andrew Holness behave bad pan Portia Simpson, who remember that? Who remember when Andrew Holness disrespect Portia Simpson in a parliament? Who remember Andrew Holness said to Portia Simpson, people, I am going to find it on Google and make you know where Andrew Holness did say. But people, I am going to play a video about how Andrew Holness gone when Portia Simpson lead a delegation. Boy, may I tell you people, I come to beat them tonight. I come to beat them tonight like a slave. I come to beat them tonight. I come to beat them tonight. But people, who remember when Andrew Holness go and bad in a parliament when Portia Simpson lead a delegation to Africa, yes, to South Africa, go deal with some business. And the one dirty Andrew Holness come in a parliament and I ask Portia Simpson, what is the good in to the Jamaican people by Portia Simpson leading a delegation to Africa? People, I am going to take it step by step and make you see say, this man here, Andrew Holness, don't so go in a garden house. None at all again. This man here need to go. This man here, Andrew Holness, need to go. I want to listen to Andrew Holness. Oh, Andrew Holness behave bad in a parliament. Listen.
I would have loved to have heard the Prime Minister say, and I appreciate what you say because the African
People, I want to listen to this man here when him Andrew Holness, when he was in opposition. Oh, this man here come and a disrespect Portia Simpson Miller when Portia Simpson Miller lead a delegation to Africa. Yes, Portia Simpson Miller lead a delegation to Africa. And people, if you don't listen the rhetoric of this thieving man, you not go believe it. You not go believe the rhetoric from this thieving man. We take on the money this week, yeah. This week, yeah. Him and Christopher Tufton and Ghana World Cup final. People, I don't ready yet. Me just want to listen. All the dirty man here. All the dirty man. All this dirty prime minister here. Go on bad because Portia Simpson see it fit for the Jamaican people to link up with our African ancestry. And if you hear how Andrew Holness behave in a parliament, people will not go believe it. Will not go believe it. Oh, this dirty mouth, thieving man when name Andrew Holness behave people a late night and me I go on bad because they pick me them Ghana, Ghana, them bed. Them Ghana, them bed. So we can chat freely now. We can chat freely now. This Batman Prime Minister, cause everybody, I say Andrew Holness, a Batman. Yes, everybody have it to say, Andrew Holness, I go back way. Everybody have it to say, Andrew Holness, I go back way. But people, listen to this dirty man with them called Prime Minister. We take the Jamaican people money and Ghana World Cup final. People, I am going to tell you tonight how much money it costs per ticket to go for attend the World Cup final. But listen to Andrew Holness. In a 2012, when Portia Simpson Miller was Prime Minister of Jamaica, hear all this dirty thieving mania behave in a parliament. Listen to dark shit. Listen this dark shit. Listen him. Listen him. Listen this mania. Listen this mania.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
In a life African.
I would have loved to have heard the Prime Minister say, and I appreciate what you say because the African blood
This is
runs deep in
2012,
me
you
as
know.
well.
This is 2012. This
African blood runs in me.
people, this is 2012. Me not talk about last year or year before or 5 years ago. This is 2012 when Andrew Holness in the wilderness and Portia Simpson was Prime Minister and Portia Simpson lead a delegation to Africa to deal with Jamaica business. Listen.
But it is time that we as black people realize that if we are going to get progress, that we must start to use our resources in wise ways.
Hear the dark shit.
$6.5 million to go to Africa.
Hear the dark
Prime
shit.
Minister should come here and say, yes, I
Hear the dirty dark shit, man.
with Ethiopia or
Hear
Nigeria.
the dirty dark shit, man. People, you see, tomorrow is this people of Jamaica. If Andrew Holness don't attend Parliament tomorrow, for the opposition can question him. We don't want to see back this man here in a Parliament again. He got to go. He got to go. People of Jamaica. If Andrew Holness, if this dark shit of a Prime Minister don't attend Parliament tomorrow, if him not attend Parliament tomorrow to answer the opposition tomorrow, because from what they will find out, say, the dark shit a hide. We find out, say, the dark shit a hide from Parliament. But people of Jamaica, if this load of dark shit here no come to Parliament tomorrow to answer to the Jamaican people about the World Cup ticket when buy, and I come brag and boast, it don't make sense him come back. It don't make sense. Listen to the dark shit.
I come from a generation that is liberated. In 350 years, 150 since free. We must understand that now is the time that we must defend our economic independence. And to do that, we must strike trade agreements with Africa. Don't come here and tell me about that, Mr. Speaker, let me say this. That is $6 million we spend
People, I want to listen again. I want to listen right here, so. Listen how Andrew Holness I deal with the speaker. Listen how Andrew Holness I deal with the speaker. And when our no parliamentarian them from the People's National Party I deal with him concubine wife, Juliet Holness, people are say the opposition are overdo it. Listen to Andrew Holness. Listen to Andrew Holness I deal with the speaker. Listening.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, in response to the intervention by the House Leader, if the Prime Minister, having had these answers prepared and foresight of them, which I did, if the answers are there, she could have said it. She could have said it. All I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, to you is that the 6.5 million spent on traveling to pay respect to ancestors could have been spent at Pinnacle. And that is where you will be paying respect to ancestors. If you don't want to travel to pay respect to ancestors, you could spend it.
This man is disrespectful. This man is so disrespectful to our African brothers. Here, how I deal with our African ancestry. Listen to him. How I deal with our African ancestry. People, I want to listen him again. Listen it again. I am going to play it back uninterrupted. That the Jamaican people can listen to this big load of dark shit.
Gabonese President Brice Clotaire Oligui.
This big load of dark shit in Andrew Holness. People, when Jamaican
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
he not like African.
I would have loved to have heard the Prime Minister say, and I appreciate what you say because the African blood runs deep in me as well.
No African blood. No African blood running out. He's a thief.
But it is time that we as black people realize
You is a thief.
to get progress that we must start to
You is a thief.
forces
Both African blood.
So if
You
we
is a
spend
thief.
$6.5 million to go to Africa, the Prime Minister should come here and say, yes, I struck an economic deal with Ethiopia or Nigeria. I come from a generation that is liberated. Slavery, 350 years, 150 since free. We must understand that now is the time that we must defend our economic independence. And to do that, we must strike trade agreements with Africa. Don't come here and tell me about that system. Mr. Speaker, let me say this. That the $6 million that we spend trying. Hold on. Mr. Speaker, as I said, in response to the intervention by the House Leader, if the Prime Minister, having had these answers prepared and foresight of them, which I did, If the answers are there, she could have said it. She could have said it. All I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, to you is that the 6.5 million spent on traveling to pay respect to ancestors could have been spent at Pinnacle. And that's where you would be paying respect to ancestors. If you had to want to just travel to pay respect to ancestors, you could spend it at Pinnacle. You could spend it at Pinnacle.
Yes, people, yes, people, yes, people. People, until we understand ourselves,
Welcome to the National Political.
we are going to have people like Andrew Holness telling us a lot of caca bullshit all the while. Andrew Holness never come to the Jamaican people yet. Never come to the Jamaican people with respect. None at all. None at all. This man here, Andrew Holness, never yet come to the Jamaican people with respect. None at all. None at all. People of Jamaica, people of Jamaica, I couldn't believe it when I saw Andrew Holness at the World Cup. I couldn't believe it when I saw our Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, at the World Cup. When we see people in a Jamaica right now, still under tarpaulin, I couldn't believe it at all. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I see our Prime Minister, Andrew Brogard, Holness, at the World Cup final. And people, you know how much for a World Cup final ticket? And people, a World Cup final ticket is roughly 7,000 odd US. When you calculate 7,000 odd US, you talk about 1.8 million Jamaican dollar. And we just talk about for him alone. What about the contingent? What about the contingent led by Andrew Holness and Christopher Tufton? I know that them now come out of them pocket. Them now come out of them pocket. Them now come out of them pocket. People of Jamaica, people of Jamaica. Oh, long we are going to stand up and make Andrew Holness deal with we like one big load of dark shit. People, why we make Andrew Holness deal with we like dark shit? People, why we allow this bipolar man? Him a bipolar, you know? This man here is bipolar. Him can't, him can't in him right mind. Yeah, sometimes him bipolar lick him. him. I am not prejudiced against people who are of who have mental health problem. But when we have a prime minister who it seems like his mental health is wanting, we have to talk about it. The prime minister need to check out his mental health. The prime minister mental health can't right. Can't right.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was among the world leaders in attendance at the FIFA World Cup final, where Spain made history with a thrilling victory over Argentina. After the match, he shared this message.
What a match! Spain deserves the victory. They played well. They played with heart. They played with passion. Argentina did well. They played well as well. But it was clear that Spain was the superior team. Listen, Spain only let in one goal the entire run. So it was very difficult to dismantle the Spanish defense. I would say Spain played a better game. Spain deserved the victory. Good World Cup. Great organization, clubs up to FIFA and the US, Mexico, and Canada hosting such a wonderful World Cup for the world. So disappointed is that the Jamaican team did not make it to the World Cup. I hope that we will have.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was among the world leaders in attendance at the FIFA World Cup.
People, this man here is bipolar. Nobody can tell me nothing. This man is sick in him head. Somebody need to hold Andrew Holness, restrain him. Somebody need to restrain Andrew Holness and carry him, go give him a cranium check. Andrew Holness, you need a cranium check. Your head space not right. Andrew Holness, your head space can't right, brother. Your head space can't right. And may I say to the government general, the GG, may I say to the government general, the GG, yes, he's nothing but a government general. Nothing but a government general. The GG is nothing but a government general. Because when the GG sign off on certain deal, certain document where they put forward, take for instance the Naira Act. Eh? The GG, the government general, you need to rescind everything where you signed for this man here. You need to take it back. You need to call in this man here and question him. Ask him what is happening to him. Ask him if him have a mental meltdown. It really don't look good. Really don't look good. Did you see Mia Matley at the World Cup? Did you see any Caribbean leader wasting their country well needing capital at the World Cup? Ka we know say no. We know say Andrew Holness and Christoph Tan now come out of them pocket. Them could have talked till them blue. We know say Andrew Holness and Christoph Tan now come out of them pocket. People of Jamaica, listen to this man here again. Listen to this criminal here again. Listen him again. This man here is nothing but a smooth
They
criminal.
deserve the victory. They played well. They played with
This man, yeah,
heart. They played with passion. Argentina did well. They played well as well. But it was clear that Spain.
this man, yeah, Andrew
But it
Holness.
was clear that Spain was the superior team. Listen, Spain only let in one goal in the entire World Cup. So it was very difficult to dismantle the Spanish defense. I would say Spain played a better game. Spain deserved the victory. Good World Cup. Great organization. Thumbs up to FIFA and the US, Mexico, and Canada. Such a wonderful World Cup. One of the world's disappointment that the Jamaican team did not make it. I hope that we will have.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was among the world leaders in attendance at the FIFA World Cup final.
People, people of Jamaica, people of Jamaica, people of Jamaica, people of Jamaica, people of Jamaica. I am going to ask you, I am going to ask you, people of Jamaica, I am going
World
to.
Cup. By the way, who you carrying for the World Cup?
You know, I always bring Germany. Very clinical,
Yeah.
reliable, workhorse team.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Jamaican, there's always some reserved passion for Brazil.
Of course. Yes. World Cup. By the way, who you carrying for the World Cup?
You know, I always bring Germany. Very clinical,
Yeah.
reliable, workhorse team.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Jamaican, there's always some reserved passion for Brazil.
Of course.
People, when we have a prime minister, where of all the teams in the world, money is the prime minister favorite team. It a tell we something. It a tell we something where we now read between the line. When we have a prime minister, we choose Germany. Yes, Germany. Adolf Hitler's Germany. I am not being racist, you know. I am not being a misogynist. But I am telling you, when we have a prime minister who come and by the way, I am not saying public radio because nationwide is not a radio. Nationwide is a YouTube channel. When Prime Minister Andrew Holness come on Cliff Hughes nationwide YouTube channel and tell the Jamaican public and the latter world that Germany is his favorite team. Is it saying plenty to the Jamaican people? Is it something that the Jamaican people should digest? Is it something that the Jamaican people should digest? People, this is late night talk. And we have a talk the things them when nobody no one hear we talk. But Prime Minister, but Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, Andrew Holness, Andrew Holness, Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness, Andrew Holness, Andrew Holness. I am going to mention a plateau of Jamaican star. By the way, By the way, I did see the Prime Minister sometime at the National Stadium when the Jamaican national football team is playing matches at, at the National Stadium. But to God, I never see Andrew Holness in aware, aware Jamaica did play the last match to try go to the World Cup against DR Congo. Was it was it in Mexico? Was it in Mexico? Where in Mexico? Can somebody in the chat tell me? Where in Mexico? Because I said I'm gonna beat the Prime Minister tonight. I'm gonna beat him like a dirty slave. And me attack. Me not beat him like no black slave. Because enough people feel say it's only black people who are slave. Enough people have it to say it's only black people who are slave. But when I say I'm going to beat the Prime Minister like a slave, I am not talking about my black brothers and sisters when they were slaves. I am talking. I am going to beat the Prime Minister like a Indian slave. I am going to beat the Prime Minister like a Indian slave. You know the weak slave them when them come to Jamaica for shop, for chop the sugar cane and them drop down like dog because them not healthy. You know remember say a Indian first come to Jamaica for chop sugar cane. Indian, Indian first, East Indian, and them weak like rat. I'm going to beat the Prime Minister like a weak Indian slave. Tonight, 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 tonight. Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Dirty Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Late night show. Me no come here. Me no come here for beg no friend. Me no come here for friend nobody. Me no come for friend no thief. The Jamaica Labour Party led by Andrew Holness remind me of a place called the Caribbean Sea in the 1500s when piracy was the harder of the day. Prime Minister, you is nothing but a old pirate. I'm going to play that tune for you later. I'm going to play that Bob Marley for you later. Dirty Prime Minister. Dirty Prime Minister. I'm going to play that Bob Marley for you. Old pirate. Yes, the rabbi. I'm going to play it for you. But the question that I was asking the Prime Minister, did you attend the Reggae Boys match when the Jamaica football team, national football team, was playing that match against DR Congo? Was you in attendance in Mexico? No, no, no. No patriotism, you is just a fucking thief. No patriotism. Have you ever yet go to a match when the Jamaica netball team is playing in either England, New Zealand, or Australia? Have you ever traveled to watch the Jamaica netball team? Have you ever? Tonight, people, me I go beat this dirty man here like a whole Indian slave. Cause him love Indian. Him love Indian. And me I go beat him like a whole dirty Indian slave. like a weak Indian slave. We have known the prowess of Usain Bolt. Prime Minister, Prime Minister, Prime Minister, have you ever traveled to see any of our athletes in action yet abroad? Have you ever yet? Was you Prime Minister? Dirty Prime Minister? When Shelley and Fraser was doing her last lap, when Shelley and Fraser was set to retire in the last Olympic, was you there? Prime Minister Andrew Holness, was you there? And people are saying, yeah, the TV is not a good YouTube channel. How comes? How comes? You know, say, yeah, the TV now come and chat the thing them where everybody are chat about. Because in Jamaica, there is no journalism going on. No journalism going on in the day, in the afternoon, in the evening, or in the night like no. No journalism. I would like to get a work at CVM or TVG. I would be a journalist will carry my piss pot or my chimney, go put it down a hundred hole in his yard gate. I would be a journalist where I walk with my piss pot, where I walk with my chimney, and I sit down and Andrew Holness and Andrew Wheatley and Christopher Tufton yard gate. Uno did have to call more up on me. Uno did have to call the constabulary force upon me for remove me. Cause me now move until you answer the question when I want to ask you. What are you doing for Jamaica? What una do for Jamaica than plunder this little nation? What una do? What una do than a cripple little Jamaica? Christopher Tufton and Andrew Holness and Andrew Wheatley and the whole of them do is cripple Jamaica. Jamaica can't walk good because of them. Jamaica can't walk good because of the Jamaica Labour Party. Since them coming a power, Jamaica cripple. Jamaica can't walk. Jamaica in a wheelchair. Since the Jamaica Labour Party come to power, Jamaica sit down in a wheelchair. Can't move. Can't move a muscle. Dead, 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 dead. Since Andrew Holness and him pirate friend them coming a power since 2016, Jamaica can't stand up. Them impotent. Jamaica impotent. Since them coming a power, Jamaica can't breathe again. Since Andrew Holness and him friend them coming a Jamaica and turn government. Lord Jesus Christ, Jamaica is like a eunuch. Can't breathe again. Nobody now born again. Jamaica is like a eunuch since Andrew Holness and him thieving friend them take over. Jamaica turn eunuch. Jamaica turn eunuch since them take over. Can't breathe. Can't breathe. Andrew Holness, you ever fly out yet? You ever fly out yet? And go watch one of our athlete and mash up a Diamond League? Have you ever fly out yet? Two little picnic them now. What them name again? What them name again? The two little twin them. Tia Clayton and Tina Clayton. You ever go and go watch them on the international scene yet? Oh, them a mash up the world. And you gonna go watch. You gonna go watch Spain. You gonna watch Spain. And worse of all, you go spend with money and go watch Argentina. Lord Jesus Christ, and you only take Jamaica money and go watch the most apartheid team ever in the history of the World Cup. Lord Jesus Christ. And you only take Jamaica money and go watch Argentina. People, when it come on to apartheid, enough people don't know say apartheid don't cut out. Some people feel say apartheid cut out because you have black down in South Africa have a chance can become prime minister like Mandela. But in Argentina, apartheid still exists. And you only take Jamaica money, go watch apartheid, Argentina. From I was a boy, and no female balls agree up. Lord Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus Christ, it's late night. It's late night, me can't talk anyhow. From I was a boy, and now my balls are grey up. Pure grey hair pa me seed bag. Pure grey hair pa me seed bag. And me never yet see a black man pa Argentina side. Lord Jesus Christ. Screenshot me then. Screenshot me. Screenshot me. People. From me a boy. From I am a little boy. Till now, see me seed back, me balls I grew up now. I never yet, never, I never see a black man pan Argentina side yet. And you only take with money where people send come to give the poor people them, to change them life after Melissa, blow down them house, leave them under tarpaulin from last year, from last year, October. Lord Jesus Christ, and you only take with money and go watch apartheid in motion. Apartheid, Messi, Lionel Messi, and him apartheid side. People, we're not gonna continue with this. People of Jamaica, we're not gonna continue with this. People of Jamaica are not gonna continue with Andrew Holness. I take with money and I spend it to watch apartheid. Argentina, we don't even have a black man to clean that even them boots. Argentina don't even have a black man to cut the grass pan them playing field in Argentina. Argentina don't even have a black man in a them crowd that cheer for them. Only we Jamaican people Only Jamaican people alone. Only our Prime Minister alone take up money and go watch apartheid in motion. People. I never know say one country in the world could have made black people extinct. I never know say if people ever know the living truth about the country where Andrew Holness go take money and go sit down and watch World Cup final, Argentina. Argentina did have a population in the 1800. Imagine that. Less than 200 years ago, or a little bit more. Argentina did have a population equal with black and white. Where are the black? Where are the black? It is one of the most. I did hear about genocide. I did hear about genocide. When I hear about genocide, I think of places like Germany and Chile. And one time I was thinking about South Africa. But when I say the German football team, after the Berlin Wall collapse, after the collapse of the Berlin Wall, I can see clearly, I can see clearly now that Germany is not the country where Adolf Hitler left. I can see that South Africa is not the country that de Klerk left. And I can see that Chile is not the country that Pinochet left Chile. But when I look at the population of Argentina, Argentina is less than 1%, minus 0.0008% black. I must say, why Andrew always take our money and go watch a country we're bringing a thing when they're whitening? Me always hear about genocide, but it's after me I hear about this whitening. Whitening. You know, like when you have a black shoes. You know, like when you have a black shoes and you go buy a whitening and you just do so. And as you see little black, I show you rubber and white again. You don't want to see no black. Every time you see little black, a peep through, you just rubber and the whitening. That is Argentina. And Prime Minister Andrew Holness take our money. Take our money, we come here to feed and house the people them where Hurricane Melissa left with them batty out a door. I know them batty still out a door and them still hungry. And the dirty thinking nasty thieving Prime Minister take the money and him and him friend them Ghana World Cup. Ghana World Cup. And nobody come ask me about for use the what can go so. Fuck what can go so. Me not use nothing when a rascal. No what can go so. Me done with that. PMP if stop use that slang there. What can go so. Um crayfish. Crayfish for go. Crayfish for go. Me no know what can go so. Me done with that. Power, power. Me no know what can go so. More power. No what can go so. Away with what can go so. Me no want hear none about Damien crayfish. Me no want hear none about Damien crayfish. Fly the flag, yeah man, fly the flag. Jamaica we say. Jamaica we say. Burn the fire. Burn the fire, burn the fire. We are do it in the night, yeah. Some people just feel say night program. The people them just feel say them for just bungle up themselves and fight for the early part. That's all them feel. Them for fight for the early part of YouTube in the evening. But we have people where we sit down and want quality show in the night. But people, I must tell you still that sometime you can send a little super chat. You know, although on the system me not beg, me come here to talk the truth. But sometime send a super chat, yeah man. Send a super chat, man, and send a little donation the channel and thing, and make it grow, Cause we want grow for make the thing better. Yeah, man. So you can just send a donation and help the channel. Yeah, man. So when we are trying and unravel the prime minister, we are doing it in a way where the people them understand say this prime minister is not forthright, not forthright, don't forthright, not a forthright man, is not a righteous man, not a righteous man. Believe you me, this prime minister is not a righteous man, not a righteous man. And the thing is you know what bun me to? What really bun me, Portia Simpson rate Andrew Holness, Yeah, man. Portia Simpson rate Andrew Holness. Yeah, man. Always I call this boy our son. But you see this son here? This son here is the son of a gun, Andrew Holness. So Portia rate him. I saw him disrespect Portia Simpson. So Portia Simpson rate Andrew. I saw Andrew decide. Because Mama P is a woman of love and respect. And when Andrew Holness and him friend them, mash up the economy. Mash up the economy in the period at 2010. Portia Simpson come back in a power. And Portia never disrespect him. Never. Portia never disrespect this youth yet. But this youth are always a disrespect Portia. Portia never disrespect Andrew Holness yet. Never, never, never. Andrew Holness is what you call a viper. Andrew Holness is a viper. A viper. A damn viper. You know them viper there? Snake. The man is a snake.
Portia Simpson Miller also said that she is from the bowels of the working class. Portia Simpson Miller also said that she is from the bowels of the working class. Leader of the opposition, Andrew Holness, had a response to that.
Well, I think the Prime Minister tried to play a very old trick, which is to say, I'm suffering with you, I come from you. I don't believe that the Prime Minister has any more credentials to claim the constituents of poor than most people in Parliament. Certainly not more than I do. My own background is such that I was born in Spanish Town, lived in a board house, one-room board house for many years. But outside of that, people are now at a point where they realize that they need more than just the emotion. They need a certain level of demonstrated competence in
the bowels of the working class.
Hey, who know another word for pussy? Who know another word for pussy? Andrew Holness is a cunt. Andrew Holness is a cunt. He's nothing but a cunt. You, Andrew Holness. A dirty front. You. The way Portia rate you. Here how you disrespect Portia.
Leader of the opposition, Andrew Holness, had a response to that.
Well, I think the Prime Minister tried to play a very old trick, which is to say, I'm suffering with you, I come from you. I don't believe that the Prime Minister has any more credentials to claim the constituents of poor than most people in Parliament. Certainly not more than I do. My own background is such that I was born in Spanish Town, lived in a board house, one-room board house for many years. But outside of that, people are now at a point where they realize that they need more than just the emotion. They need a certain level of demonstrated competence in moving their situation forward.
Pussy all that, man. Boy, Andrew.
It's with the death of 77 Jamaicans. That is the greatest travesty. I have one question for the minister. Minister, will you withdraw the nomination of the learned attorney from the commission?
Hey, this man here.
I start where the Attorney General ends. 77 Jamaican citizens.
People, I want to listen this man here. Oh, him talk about Tivoli Garden.
All the time.
Listen this man here, him talk about
I was able to visit Tivoli Gardens.
This man here is a dark shit.
After the inquiry. It is not an experience.
People, this video is approximately 13 years ago. And I want to listen to Andrew Holness. Listen to him, Listen to him carefully. I swear to listen to this. Ask yourself tomorrow morning if you need Andrew Holness to still lead as Prime Minister of Jamaica. Ask yourself
that we should make lighter. I was also there in 2002. In fact, you may find it a matter of interest, Attorney General, that I was with Reverend Al Miller when we came upon the two young men being held by the security forces on their bellies in the hot sun.
I don't know Tivoli this, Tivoli people, you say, Uno now go know yourself until you're back against the wall. Listen this. Tivoli people. Listen this. Cause you went on all the president drop a road. The president a go one question a whole heap of people. How comes you still have labor right in charge at Tivoli still? Listen. Listen. When a them send police in there, it was a PMP in a power, 2010. I was Bruce Golding, and then fire Bruce Golding and give this man your Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness.
It was not a good experience then. In a
Tivoli
sense,
people, listen, I
I'm
want
sure we
to
can all
learn.
agree that it should never have happened again after 2002, but it did. So I think the nation must be reassured that the opposition, the then government, wants to get at the truth of what happened, why 77 Jamaicans lost their life.
It was
That is not in dispute.
a labor right in a power. You know. This man ya lie.
And the TOR, I suspect, would seek to ferret out some of them. But we would want to also know, why is it reoccurring, and why does it reoccur in West Kingston? Is there a particular profiling of the people why this happened? These are all questions. Hello. These are all questions that will. The government has.
People don't just hear what him say. How comes the police them pepper spray Desmond? How comes the police them pepper spray Desmond? When this man here in a power now, this man here in a power, this man here in a power, and police come pepper spray Desmond. Lord Jesus Christ, what a go on.
Engaged on a particular kind of inquiry, the commission of inquiry. We should note that this is not the only form of inquiry. There could have been a coroner's inquest, which would definitely seek the match. Yes, which would definitely seek to find out who killed who. We could also go on to probably consider something in the line of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. But it leads me to the point that the Commission of Inquiry is entirely the prerogative of the government. I don't believe, Mr. Speaker, that the Honorable Prime Minister and the learned Attorney General and members of the Cabinet were depending on the opposition to help them to find commissioners.
People remember the security minister at the time, Dwight Nelson. When them are questioning him, all him depend, I can't recall. Each time them question, I can't recall. Every time them I can't recall. And them can't recall until the PNP them poison him. People must know, say, the Jamaica Labour Party is a party of people who, when them see you out for be problem, them poison you. That is the Jamaica Labour Party modus operandi. So them poison Dwight Nelson, poison him, Dwight Nelson belly just get big. You know them goat there, them little goat they were just have big belly I saw Dwight Nelson belly just swell until him dead. But people, I just want
I suspect that
to know the line.
Prime Minister and her cabinet would have
Listen.
retained consultants and very well knowledgeable members of the civil servants who would have advised and made recommendations. And the Prime Minister herself may even have gone onto Google search engine to find out what commissioners would have said previously. They really don't need our input in determining what they have already determined to do. So I find the former minister.
I may tell you, Andrew.
Security, when he was then opposition spokesperson on, well, no, you weren't. You had made a comment at the time about red herrings. And I believe the attempt to consult, it's a red herring. The truth is, it is your prerogative and you decide. We will fulfill our duty to the people of Jamaica and to the people of West Kingston to ensure that they are adequately represented and that their voice and their stories are heard. We will participate because we want to get the truth. Mr. Speaker, I don't take kindly to the attempt to blame the opposition for the bad selection of a commissioner that has disclosed her view on a matter. Now, learned Attorney General, you have made some defense of the Honorable Lady. And I am not here to attack anybody's integrity. I am here to bring the facts. So I'm not making an allegation. One of the matters that will have to be considered by the Commission is whether or not unarmed civilians, let's say women and children, were caught in crossfire. Are we to say that we will have to determine whether or not unarmed civilians place themselves there deliberately? I just want to be clear that the standard of human rights in this country is not that unarmed citizens should be shot at.
Lord Jesus Christ.
I want that to be established.
Jesus with people.
It is not.
People, let I talk. So people of Jamaica, that's why me play that clip your phone to get that. You hear what Andrew Holness just said? No. It leave for we in a Jamaica decide if this man and Andrew Holness supposed to lead we forward. I mean like tomorrow, if Andrew Holness should have still be the Prime Minister of Jamaica to lead the Jamaican people. Because only hear what Andrew Holness just said. He need the PMP. It was the PMP in power, you know. It was the People's National Party in power. It was the PMP in 2012. Andrew Holness, I tell Portia Sims to say, he wanted to guarantee that unarmed citizen, unarmed people are going to try to cue it back for when they get where him said. Listen again.
Established by the statement made by the learned attorney commissioner. It is not.
Listen.
And you know that. And that to me, Mr. Speaker, is the danger. Persons who will come to the commission expecting that their side of the story, being unarmed civilians caught in crossfire, will have sympathy. That a commissioner has already pronounced on that.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, Mr. Speaker, whilst we acknowledge the fact, that we want to get at the truth, 77 people died. It is a travesty. But you know, Mr. Speaker, the greater travesty is that the government would seek to play politics with the death of 77 Jamaicans. That is the greatest travesty. I have
People, this is the man where kill off the young youth them, in the community them, for bring down crime, This is the man where send police all over the island, for slaughter the young youth them all over the country, in the name of bringing down crime. Listen to the man. This is before Andrew Holness win the election in a 2016, in a 2012. This is Andrew Holness in a parliament attacking our people. Where is this Andrew Holness? Where is this Andrew Holness? Where is this Andrew Holness? The no Andrew Holness is Satan himself. The no Andrew Holness is Satan Pitney. Listen, the man listening.
one question for the minister. Minister, will you withdraw the nomination of the learned attorney from the commission? Answer.
She's a whiz, people.
We continue to inspire Jamaica. He's only 39 years old, and Jamaica's a far.
Responsibility of leading one's country. I've always wanted to do this. So mentally, I've always been prepared for this. So the transition is not that great mentally.
No. You said you always wanted to do it, but when you realize that maybe I will get it, do you think, no, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I'm not ready for this?
It's the fulfillment of a dream, an aspiration, a duty almost.
I've spoken to past prime ministers, and the amount of time in the day that you have for yourself, for quiet reflection or family or so on, seems to be limited. It's a lot of hours on the job. Why would anybody want that?
It's a calling.
Wanted it from.
It's a calling. For me, it's a calling. This is what I have lived my life to do. So I'm prepared to accept the responsibilities that come with it. And I've always been prepared.
People, this is Andrew Holness when he just become leader. For context, this is Andrew Holness when he become leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. When time them kick where Bruce foot. Them kick where Bruce foot and hand over the leadership to Andrew Holness. Listening people.
Yes. In terms of the time management, that's a skill that you refine as you go along. I've tried to live my life in a balanced way, to take care of family, of your own peace of mind, your health, your friends, and to dedicate enough time to your job. As Prime Minister, you have to spend more time on strategic issues rather than on management issues. So the assembling of a team that can manage strategy implementation is critical.
People, this is Andrew Holness. This is Andrew Holness. When them kick with Bruce foot and give him the leadership, that means no, Andrew Holness is the Prime Minister speaking now. This is Andrew Holness, his first stint as Prime Minister. Make we start it from the top again. And people, I want to not judge him. Cause right now, I don't know idiot. This is no idiot journalist. I interview him. This journalist here is one of Jamaica brightest. This is Simon. I mean, Simon Crafkin. Yeah, man. Simon himself. Listen.
We continue in Spy Jamaica. He's only 39 years old, and Jamaica's fastest rising political star. We're now joined by the Honorable Andrew Holness, Jamaica's 9th Prime Minister. Good morning, sir. Welcome
morning,
to Spy Jamaica. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
My great pleasure being with you.
What was the feeling like when you realized that I'm 39 and I'm the Prime Minister of Jamaica? What was that feeling like?
I'll be honest with you, it didn't feel any different from how I felt before. I mean, I've always
Yeah, man, people, this I went on the GLP Ku Klux Bruce Golding. Yeah, man, them cover them face and Ku Klux Bruce. Kick with Bruce foot and hand it to this thief. Listen to this thief here.
acknowledge the awesome responsibility of leading one's country. I've always wanted to do this. So mentally, I've always been prepared for this. So the transition is not that great mentally. No.
You said you always wanted to do it, but when you realize that maybe I will get it, do you think, no, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I'm not ready for this?
It's the fulfillment of a dream, an aspiration, a duty almost.
I've spoken to past prime ministers, and the amount of time in the day that you have for yourself, for quiet reflection or family or so on, seems to be limited. It's a lot of hours on the job. Why would anybody want that?
It's
And
a calling.
Wanted it from.
It's a calling. For me, it's a calling. This is what I've lived my life to do. So I'm prepared to accept the responsibilities that come with it. I've always been prepared to do this. In terms of the time management, that's a skill that you refine as you go along. I've tried to live my life in a balanced way, to take care of family, of your own peace of mind, your health, your friends, and to dedicate enough time to your job. As Prime Minister, you have to spend more time on strategic issues rather than on management issues. So the assembling of a team that can manage strategy implementation is critical. And you have to acknowledge and recognize you can't do it alone. So the ability to inspire people to work, inspire people to think, and inspire people to maintain an integral stand, very important.
You mentioned that, which is about the ability to delegate and have confidence in the people that you have around you. And obviously you tweaked your cabinet somewhat, but you've held on to education, which I'm sure from your previous experience you realize is not an easy task. You would be in charge of defense and of course the prime ministerial duties. Now you have all the energy of a 39-year-old, but that's a lot of responsibility.
Well, let's clear that up. I mean, the strategy behind education is that I've spent 4 years developing policy. We're now at the phase of implementation. So much of that relies on the civil service. So my job now shifts to more of an oversight capacity and an evaluation capacity. Are the policies being implemented properly? And where are they falling down? And what are the changes that need to be made? I suspect that implementation of the policies that we've put in place will last for maybe another year. And we're very advanced in implementation as well. We're establishing institutions that will take policy and run those policies. So I'm confident in where we are in education. Eventually, I'll have to divest myself of it because there are other issues that I want to focus my attention on. National defense, Jamaica must be proud of the JDF. So my focus there clearly is not operational, it's basically policy. OPM, that has an amalgam of differing subject areas, and I am getting to know those. Some of them I'm familiar with already, so the learning curve won't be steep. So I'm not, overly stressed with the portfolios that I have.
The political analysts have all chipped in and decided to tell you where you should put your focus. You just said you have other issues. What are the burning issues right now?
The burning issue, the critical issue, is to return fiscal discipline to our economic management, to ensure that we fulfill our obligations with our international funding partners, the IMF, the IDB, the World Bank, and to continue our progress as it relates to crime fighting, growth, jobs.
Burning issues, clearly. Let's start with the IMF. The discussion publicly has been around the fact that we still don't know if we've rearranged targets. We still don't know about our ability to draw down from the fund in the future. You obviously, one of the first things you did with your predecessor was to go off to Washington to meet with IMF. What is happening in that regard, and how will your approach to negotiations with the IMF be different?
Well, let's deal with these issues. When we went to the IMF, we went on a program. And the objective of the program was clearly to return stability to our macro indicators, strategically to reduce debt and debt servicing, and to place us on a path for growth. That program required us to take certain decisions, critical decisions about the management of expenditure, managing inflation, managing our reserves, that kind of thing. At some point, we reached a critical juncture that relates to wages and wage expectations. And that caused what economic analysts would call a confidence issue.
Mm-hmm.
So our IFIs are looking at the government saying, will we carry out the program that we agreed to? There has been a little delay. The transition has also added. And that's why we have had to be very careful in managing the transition, that we don't affect the program. So we are now on a path of restoring confidence. We've been talking, and that means that we have to also talk to the various sectors, because it is not just the government that has to make a decision. Mm-hmm. It is the various sectors in the society that has to sit down and come to an understanding that let us all agree to complete the program, place us on a path for growth, and then we decide afterwards how the growth is shared.
But
and
just as I get to that,
yeah.
the concern among some of those sectors, including the private sector, is that the initial agreement with the IMF was ambitious, to say the least, in terms of what we could achieve and what conditionality we could agree to. Now,
I'm not going to comment on whether the agreement was ambitious. The government sat down and made some projections. It was agreed that as you go along within the program, there's room and scope, mm-hmm. but you don't do that too often. Our plan is to establish confidence. Now let's just be clear. Confidence is not just important for satisfying the IMF. Jamaica is not trying to satisfy them.
Right.
What is being required is necessary to be done to give confidence to our business sector, so that our business sector understands that if the government says we're going to do this, for example, reduce our interest rates, our business sector will be able to say, I can plan, because the government keeps its word. Government policy is stable. So it's very important, not just for the IMF, it's important for public policy and economic policy as well.
Going back to, a lot has been made about the fact that you're a young prime minister. You're only 30.
Yeah, I'm not quite young.
Compared to me, you are, sir. Do you feel under pressure that everyone says, well, this is going to be a great change from what we're accustomed to, because we have
managing expectations is very important to me. So I don't go off on a frolic, giving people false hope. I want to give people hope, but hope has to be within the bounds of what is realistic, what can be achieved. So there are things that I believe that is within the realm of our achievement, and I think we should strive for those. But I'm not going to lie and say that tomorrow it will be milk and honey.
Yeah.
That's not the case. I think I've been very clear to people that we will have to, maybe for a year, maybe for 2 years, engage in a program of realism about our finances, about how we arrange our economics. And whilst we do that, we must, and I want to stress that, protect the poor, the persons who are, and the working poor, not just persons who are absolutely poor, but the working poor as well. So in effect, I'm saying that this government will be a fair government. We will pursue fiscal discipline, we will protect the poor, and set the stage finally for this country to grow.
I just wonder if those two go hand in hand, and if a lot of that isn't platitudes, in that we look to be fiscally responsible, because usually when governments tend to be fiscally responsible, they tend to cut health, education, and the poor suffer. And I don't know.
You've asked a very good question. Very good question, because the debate so far in Jamaica is that you can't be efficient and be equitable at the same time. And that's our economic policy. That is how it has gone. This government changed that. We selected some areas that are important for equity: health, education, social safety net. No one can say that we have not expanded the social safety net. We have maintained access to education, indeed increased access to education. Right now, we've moved from 72% of the secondary age population being in high school to 82% of the secondary age population being in high school. That's a massive jump in 4 years. So we have expanded access in education.
But at the same time, the poverty figures have doubled.
Well, the poverty debate needs to be had, because much of what is said,
People here, Andrew Holness, them always I put Jamaica under poverty. This is Andrew Holness. This is Andrew Holness at his best. Poverty. Andrew Holness is nothing but poverty. 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 That Andrew Holness deal with.
it's not clearly explained. We had a fall in poverty that was due to a wealth effect created by what we call the unregulated financial schemes, and that caused poverty to dip significantly beyond the normal trajectory. But just coming out after the collapse of those schemes, poverty took a rise. Obviously it would, but then it is also compounded by a recession in our biggest foreign exchange earning markets, the US and Europe. So almost 50% of remittances go straight into
direct correlation.
So there's a direct correlation. So it's not that you have, clearly there is new poverty as a result of losing jobs, but the truth must be told as to why it is that poverty has risen. And poverty has not just risen in Jamaica. Let's be clear. Statistics are showing that in the United States and in Europe. But we have managed to have both pathways being pursued: fiscal discipline and being equitable with ensuring access to education, access to healthcare, and protecting those who are vulnerable. If we can continue on that path, and this is why I know it's important that the sectors keep talking, because if the sectors have expectations of government expenditure that we can't manage, then you will face this juncture again, where the persons who have assisted you, IMF and the others, with your balance of payments, will be wondering, will these people keep their word so that the funds that they have lent us are secure?
I did have a related question that I was going to ask a little later on, but since you brought up, for instance, the failed unregulated schemes that we've had in the recent past, but it also speaks to a number of investigations that are ongoing, that are out there, that seem to have no conclusion. For instance, one of those schemes, the main proprietor of that scheme still hasn't been brought before the courts. We have the situation with Joseph Hibbert, still hasn't been brought before the courts. The Spencer case still hasn't been settled. The Contractor General suggests that some 40 submissions have been made to the DPP. Not one of them has come to court. Is that a concern for you as you speak about transparency, as you speak about a new government direction, that there are still so many outstanding issues that to the average Jamaican who's, if falls afoul of the law, seems to go straight through the process without any
The challenge, and I would want Jamaicans to understand that the powers of the Prime Minister and the government is not limitless, and there are institutions that we have to respect. For example, the Contractor General is an independent institution.
People, the sister from long time, people. People to listen. I just don't bring up them topic here, you know. I just don't do my research, you know. But I want to prove it to you, say. This is when Andrew Holness just take over as Prime Minister from Bruce Golding. And I get to find out, say, the Contractor General did have problem with the Bruce Golding led cabinet. Here, the real journalist here asked him about it, and him a pussyfoot around. Andrew Holness always want to undermine the Contractor General. Now, the 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 Integrity Commission. A long time him been doing it. Listen.
So too is the DPP. They are independent institutions. We can't sit here and pretend to be able to direct independent institutions.
But it must be a concern.
No, I just wanted to lay that clearly. But it is a concern, and we have said so. The role of government, therefore.
From 20, look here, the man a thief from him just go in a politics. From Bruce Golding did give the man the education ministry. The man a thief. Andrew Holness was a thief from in the Bruce Golding cabinet. Andrew Holness was a fucking thief. Here, you Kraskili are asking about it. You are asking about it, and him a go round listening.
Is to use its legislative powers, which I have said clearly that the new anti-corruption bill will be passed by this administration. It must also use policy. So sometimes policy can't be retroactive. Policy sometimes is just going forward. But we have to set policies that would prevent, and I think we have done so, the occurrence of what happened with the unregulated schemes. We also must use our role as advocates against corruption. And I think you will find that more so in this government as well, to not just pass the laws and the policy, but to be staunch advocates against corruption.
But even the 70, I forgot to mention in the question, the 73 people or so who were killed in Tivoli during the
but that's a separate.
There's no investigation. There's no report on how these people died. I mean,
I think don't confuse the two issues. The action of the state, in my opinion, when it comes to its citizens, must always face some kind of oversight as to whether or not it is going to be a commission, which has pros and cons. We have seen commissions come out inconclusive, great deal of expenditure. It's something that we have to look at. I couldn't hear make a commitment, but my personal view is that when the state takes action against its citizens, and especially resulting in loss of life, there must be some form of oversight and closure, and where compensation is due. that should be done as well.
Sir, in your inaugural speech, you said you have to dismantle garrison communities. What does that mean first? And how do you achieve it?
You know, the leader of the opposition has responded to me. I would say it's a favorable response. She wants to discuss. I want to discuss as well. It's not just symbolism, but I think the symbolism is important, especially coming up to an election.
But when you said dismantle it,
no, I'm going to answer your question. Yeah. So the garrison is a social construct. It is built in the culture, in the minds of people, that there is an exclusive zone, that only one political view can flourish. But having that one political view flourishing, it gives support to what I would call an entry into the state. And having that entry and association with the state authority, sometimes it creates an exclusive zone where persons who are not necessarily supporting law and order can flourish, and sometimes create within your culture a subculture, and within your state a small state. And we have to be very careful of that.
And so that's it. One of those
that's the social.
Does that mean you would not go to West Kingston to assume that?
I think it is. I think. Let's just be clear. I think it is, or it is emerging now that I will not be going to West Kingston, but not for that reason. I have an obligation to the people of West Central St. Andrew who have supported me through thick and thin, and it would be unfair to them. But let's just go back. It is not right. So it's very important. The people who live in these areas should not be stigmatized. As I said in my speech, it's not so much that Jamaica is locked off from them, but they are also locked off from Jamaica. They don't receive from the state all the services with the speed of response and the quality that they deserve to. And what we need to have now is an integration, easy access into those areas so that you can cross-fertilize ideas. People can feel free. It's sad that if you are a Jamaican coming from any other part of Jamaica and you end up in an area that is known as a garrison, you feel deathly afraid that something is going to happen to you. Nothing may happen, but just the culture, you feel so much afraid.
Part of the concern is for me in terms of those constituencies. They're usually poor.
Well, let's not just say constituencies, because they may be communities.
But even so, is the lack of investment and the lack of, it would seem, the sitting MP's ability to attract investment to those communities because of that stigma. Well, how are you going to change that? How are you going to break down tribalism and those things?
Well, let's break down investment. It's very important. Many of these communities are not in the industrial belt where investment would come in large quantities.
Jesus, with many of these communities. No. Me I go start now. Take it from Rockford. Take it from Rockford out of East. Rockford. Cement company. Shell company. Flour mill. The barge. Come right to south side now. Grace Kennedy. Wessinco. Come downtown now. The whole of downtown. Kingston, Werewolf, Seprad, Tivoli, GPS, coming across to Greenwich Farm, Garmex, coming across Kingston Wharf, Petrojam, face the commodity. Hey, from them time, you know, Andrew Holness is a liar. The man said most of these community is not in zone of production. People, who see when I flirt with from them time there, liar.
Right? But they certainly, many of them, were former residential estates. And people who own property there left as a result of violence. And the real estate value has been allowed to deteriorate. Yeah. So the plan is not just to walk, but there has to be a program of urban renewal where persons can get value in their property. That's a form of investment as well. And once people start to have value in their property, then they start to have pride in their community. And they will begin to make a stance against crime and violence.
So that sounds good, but is there a methodology?
There is a methodology. The first thing is to break the view, even if it is not real, that garrisons have political support.
Yeah.
We must break that notion in the minds of Jamaicans. Once that is broken, then the person who comes into the garrison for crime realizes that he has no succor from the politician. And that must be clearly established. That's a process of trust building. And once we establish that and walking together, allowing campaigns to go through, that will help.
You said walking together, you invited the opposition leader to take a walk with you. You said you heard from them.
Yes, and I'm going to review it carefully. I got it yesterday. I read it in a personal way. I will review it this morning, but it seemed positive to me.
Speaking of walking with the opposition, you may get the chance to do it sooner than you think or than we know, which of course leads to the next question. Election date. But
you're not asking me.
I am asking. No, but here's what I'm going to ask: is Jamaica financially, economically, and all the other areas in a position to have an election anytime soon?
Listen, again, I'm a realistic person. If you don't have the money, you can't have an election. I agree with the position that standards must be maintained. You certainly don't want to have an election where it is below standard and being criticized internationally. So, we're practical. We bear that in mind. Having said that, we have in Jamaica probably recognized as one of the best electoral institutions in the world. They have gotten so many accolades, and they maintain a standing capacity to keep elections if it were to be called. Let's just be clear on this. Let's be clear on this point that the electoral machinery must always be ready.
You see, Andrew Holness still is one of the most, when we talk about lie, Andrew Holness lie. But people, we not gonna keep you up long enough, cause early morning now, I know say no one got work. So people, tomorrow night again, we are gonna come and do it all over again. But as well, I did promise you, I am going to play. I am still going to play a song fittingly for Andrew Holness. Yeah, man. So people of Jamaica, yes, Jamaican people, we are dedicate this one here to Andrew Holness. Dedicated. See me? To Andrew Holness.
The summer sales event.
Yeah, man. This one here, we are tell honest and pirate friend them. Yeah, man. Every day on the rob I and I. 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 But One thing me I make una know. 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 Say Andrew Holness, no matter what you do, Andrew Holness, nothing can save you because of this the Jamaican people them. I say right you know. This is where the Jamaican people them. I say no. This is where the Jamaican people them. I say right, you know. The Jamaican people them. Say right you know, Andrew Holness. Yeah man. That way I tell the dirty thief in Prime Minister, step aside and make Mark Golden deal with the thing. Deal with the thing. Pally. And people of Jamaica know say tomorrow night again we are come to unravel a next topic. And you know say I saw we do it.